In Taiwan are looking for dozens of people who are still missing after the island was hit by its strongest earthquake of this century. At least 10 people were killed, and serious damage is reported all around Taiwan.
Took the hat in our desk, so we took it out and put it on your head.
Rescue operations are focused in the mountains. Dozens of people are still missing there after that strongest quake in decades.
Taiwan 2024, 7.2 magnitude, the strongest earthquake to hit Taiwan in 25 years. On April 3, 2024, Taiwan was struck by a 7.2 magnitude earthquake, the strongest to hit the island in 25 years. The quake, centered near the eastern coastal city of Hualien, sent shockwaves across the nation, causing widespread destruction, panic, and grief. This seismic event left an indelible mark on Taiwan, with its effects felt both physically and emotionally by millions. From the collapse of infrastructure to the incredible stories of survival and resilience, the earthquake became a defining moment in the island's history. In this comprehensive account, we'll delve into the science behind the quake, the immediate aftermath, the rescue efforts, and the long road to recovery. This is a story of devastation, determination, and the lessons learned from one of Taiwan's most catastrophic natural disasters. Taiwan sits on the Pacific Ring of Fire, a region known for its frequent seismic activity due to the movement of tectonic plates. The island lies at the boundary between the Eurasian Plate and the Philippine Sea Plate, making it highly susceptible to earthquakes. The 2024 earthquake originated from the convergence of these plates, with the epicenter located approximately 15 kilometers off the coast of Hualien at a depth of 18 kilometers. Taiwan has a history of strong earthquakes. The island is located within a complex zone of convergence between the Philippine Sea Plate and Eurasian Plate. At the location of the earthquake, these plates converge at a rate of 75 millimeters or 3 inches per year. To the south of Taiwan, oceanic crust of the Eurasian Plate is subducting beneath the Philippine Sea Plate, creating an island arc, the Luzon Arc. At Taiwan, the oceanic crust has all been subducted, and the arc is colliding with continental crust of the Eurasian Plate. To the north of Taiwan, the Philippine Sea Plate is in contrast subducting beneath the Eurasian Plate, forming the Ryukyu Arc. Seismologists identified the quake as a megathrust earthquake, caused by the subduction of one plate beneath the other. The immense pressure between the plates had been building for decades, and the release of this energy resulted in a violent rupture along the fault line. This type of earthquake is known for its capacity to generate both powerful ground shaking and secondary disasters such as tsunamis and landslides. The tremors were so intense that they were felt as far away as Hong Kong and southern Japan. Scientists recorded over 300 aftershocks within the first 48 hours, with several reaching magnitudes above 5.0. These aftershocks compounded the fear and disruption, hindering rescue efforts and leaving residents on edge. At 10:37 a.m. local time, the ground began to shake violently, catching many residents off guard. In Hualien, where the shaking was most severe, buildings swayed, windows shattered, and streets cracked open. Office workers scrambled under desks, and school children huddled in corners as the tremors intensified. The quake caused significant damage to critical infrastructure. Several highways collapsed, cutting off access to remote areas, while train services were halted across the island due to damaged tracks. Power outages affected over 1.5 million households, and water supplies were disrupted in several regions. In Taipei, the capital city located over 150 kilometers away, skyscrapers oscillated, prompting evacuations. One of the most harrowing moments occurred when a 12-story residential building in Hualien toppled, trapping dozens of residents inside. Rescue teams worked tirelessly to extract survivors from the rubble, but the collapse underscored the vulnerability of older structures that had not been retrofitted to withstand such powerful earthquakes. The earthquake claimed the lives of at least 18 people, with over 1,100 injured, and a lot of people were still reporting missing weeks after the event. Entire families were devastated as loved ones perished or were unaccounted for. All fatalities occurred in Hualien County. Most of the dead were killed in Taroko National Park, including 10 hikers who were caught in rock falls on Dekalin Trail, Zayozahulio Trail, and Shakadang Trail. This also included 5 members of the same family. 5 people died after rockfalls occurred along the Central Cross Island Highway and the Suhua Highway, while 2 fatalities occurred inside mining areas of Hualien after rockfalls. A woman in Hualien City died after she returned to her building to retrieve her cat, during which she was pinned down by a column following an aftershock. 5 cats trapped inside the building, including the deceased woman's cat, were later found alive and were rescued. Hospitals in affected areas were overwhelmed, struggling to treat the influx of patients with injuries ranging from minor cuts to life-threatening trauma. Temporary shelters were set up to accommodate the displaced, but conditions were far from ideal. Over 50,000 people were left homeless, and many faced shortages of food, water, and medical supplies. Psychological trauma was widespread, with survivors recounting the terror of being trapped under rubble or watching their homes crumble before their eyes. Amid the tragedy, stories of survival and heroism emerged. In one instance, a 10-year-old boy was pulled from the debris of his collapsed home after being trapped for over 12 hours. His rescue became a symbol of hope, inspiring the nation during its darkest hours. First responders, volunteers, and even ordinary citizens worked tirelessly to search for survivors, often risking their own safety in the process. The financial toll of the earthquake was staggering, with initial estimates placing the damages at over $50 billion. Key industries, including manufacturing and tourism, were severely affected. Factories in the Hualien region were forced to shut down due to structural damage, disrupting supply chains both domestically and internationally. Tourism, a significant contributor to Taiwan's economy, took a massive hit as travelers canceled trips and popular destinations were left in ruins. Tourist arrivals to Hualien fell by about 200,000 in the month following the earthquake. The iconic Taroko Gorge, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, sustained extensive damage from landslides triggered by the quake. Restoration efforts are expected to take years and require significant funding. Taiwan's Tourism Administration began offering subsidies for tourists traveling to the area after the earthquake, which were extended after they were initially rolled out. Small businesses were among the hardest hit, with many unable to recover from the destruction. Farmers in rural areas faced additional challenges as their fields were rendered unusable due to soil liquefaction and water contamination. The government announced a series of relief packages, including low-interest loans and subsidies, to support affected industries and individuals, but the road to economic recovery remains long. The scale of the disaster prompted an outpouring of international support. Countries around the world offered aid in the form of money, supplies, and personnel. Japan, which shares a history of devastating earthquakes, was among the first to respond, dispatching search and rescue teams and donating essential supplies. The United States and the European Union also contributed significant resources to assist in relief efforts. Non-governmental organizations, or NGOs, played a critical role in providing immediate assistance. The Red Cross, Doctors Without Borders, and UNICEF mobilized to deliver medical care, distribute food and water, and set up temporary shelters. Social media platforms became vital tools for coordinating aid and spreading awareness, with hashtags like #TaiwanEarthquake trending globally. Fundraising campaigns were launched across the world, raising millions of dollars for the recovery effort. Celebrities, corporations, and ordinary citizens alike contributed to the cause, demonstrating the power of collective action in the face of tragedy. The international community's response highlighted the importance of global solidarity in addressing natural disasters. Rebuilding Taiwan after the 2024 earthquake has been a monumental task. The government allocated billions of dollars for reconstruction, prioritizing the repair of critical infrastructure such as roads, bridges, and public utilities. Engineers and architects have been tasked with designing earthquake-resistant structures to minimize future risks. The 2024 Taiwan earthquake was a tragedy of monumental proportions, leaving a profound impact on the nation and the world. Through the devastation, the resilience and determination of the Taiwanese people shone brightly, offering hope and inspiration to others. As we reflect on this disaster, let it serve as a reminder of the importance of preparedness, solidarity, and the enduring strength of the human spirit. If you found this account informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth stories of resilience and recovery from around the world.